chosen one. This is not a joke. Heaven has already spoken your name, and the war has begun. Picture this. It's early morning. The house is quiet. A 52-year-old man stands alone in his kitchen, pouring coffee. No phone ringing, no voices, just silence and the low hum of the fridge. He leans against the counter, staring at nothing, heart heavy, spirit tired. He doesn't say it, but inside he's asking, God, is this really it? To everyone else, it's just Wednesday. But in the unseen, something shifted. Your name was spoken in heaven. And when heaven says a name, the atmosphere moves. You think this season is random. It isn't. You think the heartbreak, the job loss, the quiet collapse of a relationship was coincidence. It wasn't. You've walked through fire not because you're forgotten, but because you're called. People chalk it up to bad luck. But heaven is whispering, wake up. Because lately, you haven't been living, just existing. And yet, inside, something has been stirring. An ache, a pull, a signal trying to get your attention. Isaiah 43:1 says, I have called you by name. You are mine. That isn't poetry. It's a decree. When God says your name, it echoes through eternity. It stirs angels. It confronts darkness. It puts your past, present, and future into divine motion. So hear this clearly. You're not a mistake. You're not unseen. You're not abandoned. Heaven knows you. Heaven fights for you. So pause. Breathe. This moment is holy. And this isn't the beginning of the end. It's the beginning of the why. Before you keep scrolling, breathe. This moment, it's not for your mind. It's for your soul. Picture this. A woman steps out of a small, empty church. The doors creak shut behind her. Her eyes are wet. She wipes her face with the sleeve of her coat. But even after the tears, her heart still feels heavy. She didn't come for answers. She came because she couldn't carry the silence any longer. Not the silence in the room, the silence inside her. This isn't about fame. It's not about influence. It's not about being known by the world. It's about your soul being known by God. You may think heaven is warning you because something bad is coming. But it's not about fear. It's about awakening. Heaven is calling you to rise, to remember, to return. Because the noise of this world has drowned out something sacred. You've been praised for what you do, but you've been starving for who you are. There's a story of a mother. She prayed for her son every night, 10 years straight. He was addicted, lost, angry, gone, but she kept whispering his name before God. Even when it looked hopeless, even when he cursed her, even when she sat alone at Thanksgiving with an empty chair. Why? Because she knew. This wasn't about being seen. It was about being faithful, and God saw her. There's another story. A man named Joseph, sold by his brothers, wrongly accused, thrown into prison, forgotten by people, but not by God. He had no stage, no followers, no platform. But God had a plan, a purpose, just like He has for you. Jeremiah 29:11 says, For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. You haven't been punished. You've been preserved. So if you're walking through shadows right now, if you're holding on by a thread, don't look away. This isn't the moment to give up. This is the moment to wake up. There's a war over your soul, and you're not imagining it. You felt it. That sudden heaviness for no reason. Those late-night questions that won't let you rest. The ache in your chest when life seems fine on the outside. But something deeper isn't. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You're in a battle. Picture this. An older man sits alone in his car at the edge of a grocery store lot. Rain taps the windshield. His hands grip the wheel, shaking. He came here wondering if this might be the day he gives up. Not just on his plans, but on everything. And just as he whispers, "God, I can't do this anymore," heaven interrupts, not with thunder, not with fire, but with a quiet, undeniable declaration. This one is mine. No one else hears it. But in the unseen realm, everything shifts. Darkness pulls back. Angels lean in. Because when your name is spoken in heaven, the war changes. Ephesians 6:9 reminds us, our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against spiritual forces of evil. This isn't about your job or your failures or who's mad at you. It's about your soul. When God claims you, it draws attention, not just from heaven, but from hell. You don't need to be perfect to be pursued. You just need to be chosen, and you are. Isaiah 43:1 says, I have called you by name. You are mine. Let that sink in. There's a story, maybe it's yours. A son runs from everything good. He burns bridges, disappears. But when he finally returns, his father doesn't punish him. He runs to him. No shame, no lecture, just love. That's how your Father in heaven sees you. He's not waiting to scold you. He's waiting to rescue you. Because he's seen your struggle. He's heard every lie the enemy whispered. And still he calls you his. Right now, somewhere beyond what you can see, there's movement, contending, tension. Because heaven doesn't abandon its own, and hell knows it's losing ground. So if you felt more pressure lately, more tired, more tempted, it's not because you're weak, it's because you matter. You're not on the sidelines. You're at the center of something eternal. There's a war over your soul. And no, you're not imagining it. Your presence carries weight. Your absence causes waves. You may not always see it, but when you're not there, the room feels it. Picture this. An older man stands alone beside a headstone. His jacket is thin against the wind. His hands are buried in his pockets. And his eyes. They don't just look at the grave. They look through it. Like he's searching for meaning on the other side of loss. He thinks he doesn't matter anymore. That whatever he was meant to do, maybe it's already behind him. He's quiet now. He moves through life like a ghost in his own story. But here's what he doesn't know. Every time he picked someone up who had fallen, every time he listened when no one else did, every time he said, "You're not alone," and meant it, something eternal happened. You think you're just one person, but heaven knows better. You carry something that cannot be copied. When you enter a room, the atmosphere shifts. Peace walks in with you. Wisdom walks in with you. God's presence walks in with you. Think about the retired doctor who still shows up at the nursing home every Friday. No paycheck, no applause, just a warm hand on a shoulder, a kind word, a prayer in the hallway. People say, he's just volunteering. But in heaven's eyes, he's standing guard. He's keeping light in a place that would be darker without him. You may feel unseen, but you've never been unnoticed. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden." You don't have to be loud to be powerful. You don't have to be famous to be chosen. Your life isn't small just because your circle is. You've been underestimated, but not by God. He sees the quiet strength you carry, the prayers no one hears, the kindness you give without keeping score. He sees what your presence holds and what your absence leaves behind. So don't believe the lie that says you're finished. Don't fade into the background. Because you were never made to blend in. You were made to shine. And the world, whether it admits it or not, is brighter because of you. The ones who left you, they feel the loss, even in silence. They don't say it. They won't text. But there are nights when they scroll through old photos, and when your face shows up, they stop. They stare longer than they mean to. They remember what they had and what they lost. You might never hear it, but the memory of your light still follows them. Maybe someone walked out of your life. Maybe they didn't just leave, they let you carry the blame. They made you question your worth, your voice, your presence, and for a while, you believed it. But here's the truth, they left. But your light stayed. There's a scene we don't talk about enough, someone sitting quietly at home, phone in hand, looking at your posts, your photos, your joy. They don't like or comment. They don't say a word, but deep down, they feel it. Your smile stings. Not because it's fake, but because it's real. Because after all the silence, you're still shining, and that shakes them. But listen, this part isn't about them. This part is about you. Because the hardest thing you've ever done was keep your heart soft when it would have been easier to go cold. There was a moment, maybe it happened in your car, or in the kitchen while the coffee brewed when you whispered, "God, I could get even, but I won't." Instead of revenge, you chose to pray. Instead of closing your heart, you asked God to guard it. You didn't forgive because they earned it. You forgave me because you couldn't carry that weight anymore. And that choice, that was power. That was freedom. Luke 15 tells the story of the prodigal son, a son who left, wasted everything, and only returned when he had nothing left. But do you remember what happened next? The father didn't slam the door. He ran. He ran to the one who left. Not because he forgot the pain, but because love always moves first. That's what you've done. You've kept your spirit open, even when your heart was breaking. And that doesn't make you weak. It makes you choose. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "You are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, God's special possession." You're not just surviving what they did, you're rising through it. God didn't choose you because you were flawless. He chose you because you wouldn't give up. Because even in betrayal, you believed in redemption. Even in heartbreak, you trusted that God could heal. even in silence. You knew you were still being seen. So here's what you need to know. They might not apologize. They may never come back. But that's not the end of your story. You don't need their closure to walk in freedom. You don't need their words to validate your worth. You were chosen before they left. You are still chosen now. Let them feel the loss. Let heaven handle the rest. You keep shining because your light was never meant to go dim. Let's pause here for a moment. Not to end the story, but to open a door that's been waiting for you, maybe longer than you realize. This isn't just another message. It's not just encouragement to carry you through the day. It's something deeper, a quiet invitation with eternal weight. So let me ask you this. If this were the last time God tried to get your attention, what would you choose right now? You're standing at a crossroads, at the kind that doesn't come with flashing lights or loud voices. Just a still, small moment between you and Him. In the book of Exodus, there's a powerful moment. The people of Israel are standing at the edge of the Red Sea. Behind them is Egypt, the place of slavery, the familiar pain, the old life. In front of them is something unknown, something terrifying, but also freedom. They had a choice. Go back to what they knew, or step forward into what God had promised, even though they couldn't yet see the way. Maybe that's where you are now. Caught between the familiar and the unknown, between survival and surrender, between what's easy and what's eternal, and God. In His love isn't pushing you, He's inviting you. Deuteronomy 30:19 says, I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life, so that you and your children may live. It's not a threat. It's a call, a reminder that your decisions have weight not just for today, but forever. Choose life, not just existence, not just coping, but the kind of life that wakes you up from the inside out, the kind that can't be shaken by loss or fear, the kind that walks through fire and still believes in hope. That door is open right now. It may not look dramatic, but it leads somewhere sacred. And you don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to say yes. So if your heart is stirring, don't ignore it. You don't have to run. You don't have to prove anything. Just choose. Choose the better path. Choose to believe He's not done with you. Choose to step forward. This isn't pressure. This is permission to finally live the way your soul has been longing to. You've been through fire. That's why you shine. This is your confirmation. You are chosen. You may not feel it every day. You may not hear it from the people around you. But it's still true. And heaven has never taken its eyes off you. You've walked through seasons that almost broke you. You've been misunderstood, overlooked, passed by. But even in the hidden places, you weren't being rejected, you were being refined. You are not forgotten, you are being led. Picture this. A man walks quietly down a hospital hallway. No fame, no spotlight. But he shows up every day, elsewhere. A woman rises before dawn. She makes breakfast, folds laundry, whispers prayers. No applause, just obedience, and heaven sees it all. Isaiah 43:1 says, I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. That happened not when you had it all together, but when you were unsure, tired, maybe even lost. That's how God works. He doesn't wait until you shine to choose you. He chooses you so that you can shine. 1 Peter 2:9 says, "You are a chosen people, God's special possession." You may have been told you're too late, too broken, too ordinary. But God says you are mine. You're the light someone else needs, the hope someone else is praying for, the reminder that goodness still walks the earth because you do. Matthew 5:14 says, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." So stop hiding. Stop waiting for someone else to confirm what God already declared. You are chosen. You always have been, even if the future feels uncertain. You don't need the whole path, just the next step. Open your hands, lift your eyes. There is light ahead, and it's not just above you, it's in you. This isn't the end of your story. It's the moment your identity speaks louder than your fear. Chosen, called, seen, loved, led. Keep walking. Heaven is with you.